Hello and welcome to Ham Nation, episode 597 for April 23rd, 2025. Well, I guess a happy 23rd to all of you. Hello, I'm Josh, KI6NAZ. Welcome to Ham Nation. We got a great show for you today with lots of guests, so let's go ahead and kick things off by saying hello to our wonderful hosts. Our pyramid is down to 2. So I guess we'll start with Don there up at the top. How you doing today, Donnie boy?
I am well. Enjoyed a day off today. Got my hairs cut, and I got my annual care package from the Venture Crew 73 folks over at Hamvention. George Ewing sent me this. That's the 2025 Hamvention Venture Crew Boy Scouts, or Scouts, I guess you would call it now, lanyard that you can get as you go in. They've got the nice red stripe on it now. I'd wear it on the shirt, but it would get completely lost in all this foliage and everything. So when you go to Dayton, make sure you go in there and get your lanyard. This is nice. And it's very inexpensive. They will also laminate.
Uh-oh. We lost Dawn. Amanda, are you there?
I am here. And I don't know if we should enable his lanyard addiction, by the way, everybody. If you haven't seen his lanyard collection, my goodness. Anyhow.
It was getting so out of control that the app just kicked him right out of it.
They cut him off. They had an intervention of their own. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ham Nation tonight. Thanks for being here. We have some great guests. We got Tim Duffy. He's going to be talking all about Contest University and the upcoming Hamvention.
So and doing that tonight. So, and she's going to be at Hamvention. So, and we've got more information on that. So,
well, I can say one thing, Don. This new app is amazing because you didn't notice you dropped out for like a solid minute. You came right back in. It pulled you right 100%. Back into the show. So I love this new app. So we were back, Don. You look as beautiful as ever, so that's perfect. But what was the reminder? Tell people how to get
Well, thank you. Whatever. Oh, right. Yeah, I just started to say whatever audio you missed is probably inconsequential. Right at the very At the very beginning, in the main gate, when you walk in, there's usually a tent right there with the scouts there. They're also in one of the buildings as well. So, but as you walk in, there's the tent with the scouts. You walk right through, and you'll have your lanyard and your laminated name tag or laminated ticket, and off you go.
Very good. Now, we should mention right up top, because we already saw a comment on it. We think Amanda has a bit of a bug in her audio chain, so she's muted right now. Is the echo gone,
buzzing.
everybody? And now she's back. Is she buzzing? Let's do an audio test for Amanda. Are you buzzing, Amanda?
Okay, this is me possibly buzzing. Not the good buzz that everybody enjoys when we watch Dr. T. So, and let me mute.
Yeah, go ahead and mute. Okay, now everybody, is the echo gone? Dawn, maybe give me a 1, 2, 3, Dawn.
1, 2, 3, Dawn.
There you go. Is that better, everybody? After the
I don't hear her buzzing at all in my earbuds, so I don't know what the deal is. Might be something just on the stream.
They're saying echo, so that's a little different than the buzz.
I hear the room, but I don't hear. Yeah, I hear the sound bouncing off the walls, but
and bear with us,
echo,
guests.
But I don't hear a. Yeah.
This is a new streaming platform that Josh has picked up on, and it's so much better than Skype usually. So we're still working out some bugs. So we've only done a couple episodes like this.
Is the echo
still
gone,
learning. Everybody?
Well, Amanda, say something.
Test 1, 2, 3 on the greatest host there is. Does that work? I'm in a mood, everybody.
Okay.
I am okay.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Okay. Found out what that is, but that doesn't really help my problem either. So I have to figure out how to fix that. We're almost there, almost 100% there. So let's keep going, Amanda. You take charge of this whole thing.
Well, thank you. As I was introducing our guest tonight, we have Tim Duffy, and he's going to be talking all things about Contest University, which means that Hamvention is also very close and around the corner. So get excited, and it's time. It's really that build-up period where they've already gotten their tickets in the mail. They're ready. So stay tuned for that. And we also have some folks from YOTA. We've got Katie and Jack, KE8LQR and W9RFT joining us. They're going to be talking about YOTA coming up in Denver and a new program that they have called YOTA Junior. So we're going to learn a lot about that with some great, and I can't call them kiddos because they're young adults now, and they're going to be running this hobby here real soon. So anyhow, and also I'll be paying attention to chat, and Josh will be covering my back on that as well. So stick around. We have a great show.
Okay.
Break. Okay, let's go back up to Tim. Tim, how are you doing tonight? Nice to see you again.
I'm great, Amanda. Thanks so much for having me on the show. It's great to be here.
We always love having you. I basically keep that link because you have an open invitation whenever you want. Anyhow, well, you kind of take the charge on Contest University every year at Hamvention. So what's going on this year?
So we have great things going on. We've almost had 20 years worth of Contest University, and boy, has it gone by fast. I really am excited because I want to lead off with Katie, K8LQR, who is coming back for her second year as a professor at Contest University. And she's going to be talking about all things youth and contesting, which is really a growing segment of the amateur radio contesting events now. And lots of people are getting involved with youth and promoting contesting. So she'll be there. This is the Thursday before Hamvention. So it's at the Hope Hotel right outside of the Air Force Base. And it's all day on Thursday. Contestuniversity.com is where you can get the information. But we have a lot of new material this year. The textbook has got over 400 pages in it. We have great professors like Dr. Tamitha Skov is going to talk about, what's going on with the sunspot cycle, which is exciting. Frank Donovan, W3LPL, he teaches 3 sessions on station building, station maintenance, propagation, how to maximize the performance of your station, whether it's, just 100 watts in a wire, he can help you. Hank, W6SX, is here for the first year, talking about how you can get even more gain out of your station. Anthony, AB9YC, is going to talk about the link between DXing and contesting. Jim, 84EB, is another one of the new ones. If you click, Josh, on the course outline, you can see that Jim, 84EB, is in there. He's going to talk about QSO parties and mobile contesting. He's won a couple of these contests mobile, and he is a super, super guy. So we're looking forward to that. A very popular by demand topic that Bill, W9KKN, is going to talk about remote and how you make remote operations work for contests and also for stations. So, even if you're just an HF operator or a VHF operator and you want to maximize your station, Amanda, the place to learn about it is that whole day at Contest University. And then, as I always say, it's like, the NCAA basketball tournament. At the end of the tournament, Amanda, I wait for one shining moment. And we have one shining moment, and that's Rob Sherwood, NC0B. And when he talks about the latest and greatest radio equipment out there and what you should think about if you're buying a new radio. So you don't want to miss it. It is a fantastic day. Contestuniversity.com.
Well, and it sounds like you get to bring away a lot of swag with you too. You get the books, all of the documentation. I think you get a lunch involved in that. How much does this all cost for the day's worth of education?
Breakfast, lunch, the swag, the bag, the textbook, all of this together is $85. And the great thing is, because of the support that we have had from ICOM America and Ray Novak, YASME Foundation, the Northern California DX Foundation gives the youth scholarships. With all that support, we have been able to keep that price at the same level for 15 years.
Nice.
Which is really incredible. And the great thing is, Amanda, if you've given a talk in the last 12 months to any amateur radio club about anything amateur radio related, you get a $10 discount. So the idea is to go out and talk about this great hobby that we have.
Well, so it's the whole day thing. People need to pre-register, I'm guessing. And this is kind of like it's the same but separate from Hamvention, right? They still have to pay for their ticket to get into Hamvention and all that good
That's
stuff,
right.
don't they? Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure. And you have lots of space. I think you were saying something about 350 people go each year, thereabouts.
Yes, yeah, and there's still room left. So all you have to do is go to the website. You can sign up. Takes about 30 seconds to sign up, and then you're all set. You get a T-shirt. I mean, the whole bit, Amanda.
They actually get a T-shirt. Okay, well that's usually $20 right there. And for just a second, Katie, if you don't mind jumping in, what are you going to be teaching about at Contest U?
I'll be talking about basically all things youth and contesting, how I've gotten more involved with it, and ways that, like, if you're a beginning contester and you're youth, like ways that you could get involved and maybe sharpen your skills a little bit, get to a point where you're a little bit more proficient with it.
Amazing. And I think a lot of our friends have hosted in the past, done at least schedules. So, Tim, when you say all of these people are coming, what do they do? Like 45-minute sessions or something?
Yes, and we have 4 classrooms that are going for the majority of the time. So there are over 20 different presentations. It's tough to take it all in. Some of them are live streamed, some of them are recorded, and but we do our best to make sure that everybody gets to see what is interesting to them.
Gotcha. And we have our friend George Thomas who helps you put on that live stream, correct?
Yeah, we would not be able to do that live stream and recording without George Thomas, Katie Rockman from Summit Racing, our good friends at Summit Racing that help out DX Engineering and take care of us at Contest University. So look for the live stream on the DX Engineering Facebook and YouTube channels. George will be behind the wheel.
Awesome. Now, do people need to pre-register to watch that live stream?
Nope, not at all. You just,
Sweet.
We'll publicize the link on CQ Contest a few days beforehand. But if you just sign on to the DX Engineering channel the morning of Contest University, Thursday before Dayton, you can tune in.
Fantastic. So that means if you're going to be there, most of your crew's going to be there. I'm guessing DX Engineering is going to have a great big booth at Hamvention, correct?
Not only a great big booth, but the biggest.
The biggest.
Great big booth. We have the largest booth at Hamvention. We're very proud of that. Building 1, and we are celebrating our 25th anniversary, which is, look for amazing deals at DX Engineering. So we're going to have a crew. We're going to have a special. I am so excited about some of the things that we're doing that we've never done before. So you got to come to see DX Engineering. You're going to be blown away.
I'm almost bummed that I'm not going. Well, it sounds like a fantastic time, and I know you guys will have a great turnout for sure. I think this year is going to be bigger and better than ever, it seems like. And anything else you want our viewers to know about DXU or Hamvention itself?
One other website, which is onallbands.com. Onallbands.com is the DX Engineering blog, and that's where Katie, KE8LQR, has been blogging about all things youth and what's going on in her world and what amateur radio means to her. And we have other bloggers from all around the world on allbands.com. And if you're a gearhead, motorhead, it's onallcylinders.com, which is the Summit Racing blog. But, we're partners,
yeah.
and you're going to see Summit Racing and DX Engineering together at Hamvention this year. I'm just too giddy about this, Amanda.
I believe it. Now, so it's funny. It was not intentional to have you all on the same show, but it's mixing really well. So, Katie, have you visited Tim's station and all that good stuff? Have you operated from there?
Yeah, I've visited a couple times, and I've been there for the Youth DX Adventures 2 years in a row. And then 1 or 2 multi-ops. And then I also did a couple of the NAQPs from them as well.
Fantastic. I know. That's why I
Very
said they're
modern.
going to be running this hobby here in no time flat. These are the ones that will be telling us how it works and how it's going to be done. And I had one other question. So then DX Engineering, you also support YOTA, don't you, Tim?
Oh, absolutely. DX Engineering is very supportive of what Neil and the rest of the team. Katie is helping with organizing things, and Jack, very proud of all the youth participants. DX Engineering participates. WWROF, another one of the great nonprofits that helps out, has donated tens of thousands of dollars to YOTA. We're very proud of that as well.
It's amazing. And I'm not trying to steal Jack and Katie's thunder here, but when I saw that it only costs the kids $100 to go to a full week's camp, it's because of you wonderful sponsors. So thank you. Thank you so much for making this affordable for the kids all around the United States to be able to come and do that. Anything else, Tim, before we let you go your own way?
One other thing, Amanda, because this is one of the highlights, Contest University is great on Thursday, but on Friday night it's the farewell tour of the Spurious Emissions Band. And, and it's going to be in the ballroom from 9:30 to 11 at the Hope Hotel. There's more details on contestsupersuite.com. Contestsupersuite.com. The Spurious Emissions Band. That's N0AX and KX9X and W4PA. And what happens is your stomach hurts from laughing. 90 minutes solid. These guys are amazing. They've been saying this for years. It's the farewell tour, but it could be the last time you'll ever see them. But if nothing else, 4 nights of free pizza parties at the Hope Hotel, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But Friday night with the Spurious Emissions Band, and Katie is going to be laughing like crazy.
She already looks excited. Thank you so much, Tim. We appreciate it. Josh, were there any questions?
Well, I think you got it. The question was about, will this be on YouTube or stream somewhere? And it sounds like it will.
Okay.
Do you want to reiterate that for everybody, Tim, where they can find you?
Yes. Yeah. The DX Engineering channels for YouTube and for Facebook. And it's not every session. It is, it is free, but it's only in room 1. So, but you'll get to see Rob Sherwood. You get to see Doug Grant. You get to see some of the real luminaries. The classroom number 1 will be live streamed if you can't make it. But if you can make it to Dayton, that's the place to be, so that you can see all 4 classrooms running at the same time.
Wonderful. That was the big one. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tim. We appreciate you, and have a great time at Hamvention.
All right. We'll miss you, Amanda and Dawn, and we'll see Katie and hopefully Jack there. And we will definitely see Ham Radio Crash Course and Josh there as well. And thanks for having me on. I'm going to get off to another club meeting. So 73
Fantastic.
from Contest University.
Thanks, Tim. Have a great year.
Combining cutting-edge technology, unmatched reliability, and user-friendly design, ICOM's amateur radios are the gold standard for ham radio enthusiasts. Whether you're chasing DX, experimenting with digital modes, or leading a local net, ICOM radios deliver crystal clear performance and seamless connectivity. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to quality, ICOM continues to set the benchmark for amateur radio excellence, making them the trusted choice for operators worldwide. Introducing ICOM's IC7760, the pinnacle of base station excellence for amateur radio enthusiasts. Designed to deliver unmatched performance, the IC7760 features state-of-the-art technology, exceptional RF clarity, and an intuitive interface, all housed in a sleek and durable design. The base station features a separate remote control head and RF deck, providing excellent flexibility for installation. Place the RF deck closer to the antenna feed point, freeing up space on your desk. You can also connect the control head to the RF deck through your home network, enabling remote operation from anywhere in your home without need for a PC. Pair the IC7760 with the powerful ICPW2 linear amplifier and take your contesting experience to the next level. The ICPW2 seamlessly integrates with the IC7760, delivering a massive power boost and enabling enhanced long-distance communications with DPD, digital pre-distortion, and a built-in 2x6 automatic antenna selector for SO2R single operator 2 radios. Together, they define what's possible in amateur radio, setting a new standard for global connectivity and reliability. For more information about all of ICOM's great amateur radios, visit icomamerica.com/amateur.
And an amazing thank you to ICOM for sponsoring Ham Nation. Again, it deserves mentioning, things like Contest University, Youth on the Air, and all the things that ICOM gives back to the community. It really means a lot to me and hopefully all of you. So if you are so inclined and want to get in on this giveaway they're doing, go take the link in the video description to the Ham Nation page over at ICOM America. If you click Enter Now, you get 2 chances of winning a month, which is every time we're live. You'll be able to enter this giveaway. And every time we're live, we pick 3 winners for swag pack prizes, which include like a bag or a shirt or a hat or a tablet, pencil, that kind of thing. Usually it's a random assortment, so don't quote me on any one thing. But I promise it's a good little swag pack. And then at the end of the month, everybody who's won a swag pack for that year goes into a drawing to win a radio. And this month, let's see, what are we giving away? Boom, 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 boom. May is going to be an ID 5100. So tune in to the next time we're live, actually 2 times we're live, and we're going to be giving that away to your array. All right, make sure you go take the link. It is in the video description. Now, that means we get to pick the winners. So this week's winners are Leonard H, N3, OMX, Zachary N, KK7, WCP, and Kevin H, K0WRK. So congratulations to the winners, and make sure to go check out ICOM. We really do appreciate that. All right. Back to Amanda to talk to our Youth on the Air advocates.
Well, thank you so much. And thanks, Katie, by the way, for jumping in there quite a bit. I appreciate you. Okay, so with us, we have Katie, who you've already heard and met. And we also have Jack, W9RFT. How are you doing, Jack?
Muted.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, great. Well, so you're both here to talk about YOTA Junior. And Katie, I'm going to send it to you first. What is YOTA Junior?
So YOTA Junior is basically like a weekend version of the week-long camps that we have right now. For anybody unfamiliar with the camps that we have right now, like I said, they span about a week, and we try to move around North, Central, South America just to get as many kids as we can from the region to be able to attend. We'll spend the whole week doing everything ham radio. We do satellites, contesting, as much contesting as we can, CW, stuff like that, kind of just aiming to give the kids who attend at least a brief overview of as much as we can so that they can kind of find something that they're really interested in and then pursue it. So yeah, YOTA Junior is a version of this for a slightly younger audience. Right now, the age restrictions on actual YOTA camp are 15 through 25 years. So anybody coming to YOTA Junior then will be under 15. And then they'll also be accompanied by an adult as well, one of their parents.
Awesome. And Jack, how did you get involved in YOTA, and what are you going to be doing this year?
So I first got involved in YOTA because I went to the second ever camp in Cincinnati. And then the next year I went to the one in Ottawa. And after that, I got picked up on the PR team. And so I did that for a little bit. I authored an article in QST, or co-authored. And then Neil asked me, hey, our webmaster, we need a second webmaster. So I became assistant webmaster. Then eventually I took over the role for webmaster. And now everything on the website, all the newer articles, that's been me. So the YOTA Junior page, the Denver page, the one before that, the Mount St. Vincent page from the Halifax page, that's all been me. And so this year at camp, I'll be what we call camper staff. So me and Katie will be sort of going in and out of being campers or taking pictures or interviewing other campers on what their experience is, so we can go ahead and then post it up on the Instagram or our YouTube channel. So
Sure.
basically, we're part PR, part camper.
Fun times, and just all around a great participant, I'm sure. Katie, well, I think we kind of know how you got involved, but you have been Young Ham of the Year through, no, you have not been?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that window is open, I believe. So anyhow, same thing. Did you just visit one of the camps and you just kept being involved?
Yeah, Jack and I actually, our first camp was the same year, 2022 in Cincinnati. And then I think like February of 2023, I joined the PR team. Now I manage like all of the social media pages. I think we have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and then YouTube as well. And so I just like, I'll write the posts, put those out, kind of try to drum up interest, and like, especially with YOTA Junior this year, make sure that people know what we are and that we exist.
Very good. So what's kind of like your favorite thing of the whole week?
For the YOTA camps that I've been to, I mean, I'm biased. I love CW. I teach the CW sessions, so getting to teach the CW sessions, that's one of my favorite things. Other than that, I would definitely say just getting to meet other young hams is really nice. Being a young ham, you talk to a lot of them sometimes if you can, but you're on the air and you don't really get to connect super well. So getting to meet them and spend the week with them is really cool.
Awesome. And Jack, what about you? What's your favorite thing of the week?
I would say probably my favorite thing is getting to use a bunch of different radios that I may not be able to use, or be able to use like stations and antennas, and just experience things that in my house, because I live in an HOA, I can't put up an antenna. So being able to experience actual like a good setup or a good station. And then, like Katie said, being able to meet other young people, such as myself, who are in ham radio, because outside of my college club, I don't really have, all the clubs around here, people who are 30, 40 years older than me, and being able to meet a bunch of people and just spend an entire week with them and just get to know them and get to, have fun with them is probably what my second favorite part, fun part is.
That's cool, and it's cool that you have a college club. Katie, what do you do in your area for ham radio?
So I'm still a junior in high school, but we do have a radio club at my school. It started my 5th grade year, so we've been around for a little bit. We finally have like a permanent station and everything, which makes it a lot easier. DXC donated a lot of, if not the vast majority of the equipment that we have. But our club is 5th grade through 12th grade right now. So we have quite the vast array of ages. We do a lot of school club roundups. It is hard sometimes to like coordinate activities that both the high school and middle school can get to. So it's nice to have YOTA where it's mostly an older audience, and it's a little easier to connect with them sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Understandable. And I think, well, you have some great leadership with like Sterling and Neil and those kind of things, and that they really do the connecting as well. So, I mean, I don't know how this works. How long do you guys get to stay involved? As long as you want?
So right now we don't really have like a cap on how long you can be involved. I know Jack and I, obviously, we both came in around 2023. I'll probably stay involved through at least college, if not after.
Fantastic. And are you looking at college yet? Do you know where you want to go?
I don't know where I want to go yet. I'm actually, even though I'm a junior in high school, I'll technically kind of graduate this May. And then I'll spend next year studying abroad in Germany for like my senior year.
How amazing.
We'll figure out the colleges and everything.
Take your time. And Jack, what about, I'm sorry, you didn't mention what college you go to.
Purdue University.
Wow, amazing. That's fantastic. And what are you going to do after college?
I'm probably planning on going into networking. So I'm currently doing I'm an IT major with a concentration in networking. So probably something networking related. Hopefully. Job market's kind of garbage right now, but we'll see.
It'll change. Okay, so my next question would be kind of if some youth are watching right now, how do they get involved? I'll send it to you first, Katie.
So if you're a young person and you're within the age range of 15 through 25, on the YOTA website, you'll apply to our camp in Denver this year. That's like normal YOTA camp, week long, like what we've been doing. If you're under 15 and would like to attend YOTA Junior with a parent, you'll go. It's basically in the same place that Denver is. So if you go to our website, it's under camps. You'll apply to YOTA Junior with a parent again, and that will be in Cincinnati this year, back at the Voice of America Museum, where we kind of had the first few of our camps. But that is basically like a long weekend rather than a whole week.
Sure. It's just not too overwhelming for those younger to get involved, and plus easier for parents to be there to, chaperone, I guess. Jack, how did you get involved in amateur radio? Was it through family or just something through school?
So, actually, it's all the way back when I was like 8 or 9. My grandparents gave me and my brother, these cheap little Motorola walkie-talkies, and yeah, I had those for a while, and then I kind of right before COVID got curious. With the ham radio, I was like, I'd heard of it, but I hadn't actually looked into it. And then January of 2020, I passed my tech, and then shortly right after COVID hit and everything locked down in April, before everything was super locked down, I passed my general test.
Oh,
and yeah, it's been like that ever since.
So you had your privileges during COVID. Can you believe that's been 5 years ago, you guys? Anyhow, I know
hard to think
it was
about
a
that.
really long time ago. It's like a whole different life. Katie, same to you. How did you get involved with amateur radio?
So a lot of my family is involved or was sort of involved when I kind of was like finding out what it was and that it existed. My school resource officer at the time, I was about 10, so 5th grade, like early middle school. He started an amateur radio and electronics club at the school. And I joined that kind of vaguely unaware that like a bunch of my family was interested and involved. And then as I went through the club meetings and everything and started studying, I realized that they were involved. So kind of a mix of like family and school club.
Sweet. That sounds fantastic. And Jack, I don't know if you're following the chat, but there have been some comments about Purdue. I don't even understand the statement, but what does boiler up mean?
They're Boilermakers.
It's just so Purdue students are Boilermakers. That's just like what we say. I used to go Hoosiers. Boiler, or Purdue just says boiler up. I don't really understand it either. But...
So that's their Roll Tide thing. Okay,
Well, that's the origin. They're Boilermakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the other comment? A grad from Purdue, home of the Purdue model for networking. And yes, he is going into networking there, BE5 SAR. Any other questions, Josh?
That was the big ones. I think we covered most of them. Or Amanda, you covered most of them, so good job.
I try my best, but I'm not usually this thorough. Anything else you guys want us to know about YOTA Camp, YOTA Junior, and or any other previews for the upcoming year? Don't speak all at once.
Applications for YOTA Junior are open till June 1st. So if you have somebody under 15 and you want a weekend getaway, it's open till June 1st. I will say the pricing is a little bit different than our regular YOTA camps. Instead of being $100 per camper, it's $100 per person that needs to go. So for you and your young ham, it would be $200, one for you. And so then for a hotel, it would just be you and your kid in one hotel room. But yeah, other than that.
Awesome. And Katie, how many regular camp kids do you have enrolled?
So for the Denver camp, like the normal YOTA camp, we have, I think, Jack, if you want to jump in here, I think we're around 35 right now.
That sounds right, yeah.
Approximately.
Yeah. Cool. That's quite a group, and to keep 35 minds together is going to be a fun time. And yeah, do you two also do like the YOTA month on the air, YOTA on the air?
Yeah, so I don't coordinate it, but I do post about it and kind of like raise awareness, like I said earlier. I believe right now Blake and Case, I don't know that I could rattle off call signs, but there's information on our website about it, but they organize and coordinate the whole thing, and then I'll post about it. So everybody send in pictures if you operate, because I can always use those.
Okay, so everybody watching needs to follow you on what social media platforms? I can't remember.
So we have Instagram, Facebook, and X or Twitter, and all of those links are on our website as well.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and telling us all about this. And so, Katie, you're going to be at Hamvention. Jack, how about you?
Yep, I'll be at Hamvention too.
And do you guys have a booth there?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone be sure to stop by and tell them what an amazing job they're doing and all those good things. Drop in a buck or two if they have a bowl there accepting donations. And you guys have a great time. And thanks for everything you do for amateur radio. You guys are amazing. Dawn, any words you want to say to these two youngsters?
Huntsville. Have I met you at Huntsville yet, Jack? I don't recall. Maybe in passing. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I've slept since last August. But these two right here. Well, thank you. These two right here are the reason why Bill Pasternak, the late great WA6ITF, who started Newsline, also started the Young Ham of the Year award. And Katie, yeah, I can't believe you haven't been awarded that yet. Hopefully soon, before you age out of it. But we'll hear more in the Newsline report about Young Ham of the Year and how to nominate your favorite young ham for this award and a whole lot of other things. But this is the reason right here why Bill started that award, because this is the lifeblood of how this hobby is going to continue when folks like me aren't here anymore. So yeah, just endless enthusiasm for what you guys do, and you're so inspiring. And what Neil and Julie Rapp are doing with the youth programs that they do with YOTA is just absolutely amazing. And I'm so proud of just the whole thing. So you guys are just the best.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to following you on social media to see what everybody's doing, and especially camp time. And I can't wait. If you're going to be in Denver, I'll be there too. I'm going to be meeting up with you all to help get people signed up for ARRL memberships, to get their free student memberships. So look forward to that. Okay, well, we're going to go to AR Newsline, but you two can stick around for the rest of the show. We do Newsline, and then we'll get to Ham It or Can It, which is a really fun segment. So thank you too.
Yeah, go ahead. Here it is, the news of the week from Amateur Radio Newsline.
From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2477, this is Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. Our top story this week is about the distracted driving law in states around the U.S. that prohibits drivers from sending text messages or performing other functions with a handheld device. Iowa has just become the 31st state to add language to their law, exempting licensed hams from those restrictions.
Amateur radio operators in Iowa have won an exemption to the state's new distracted driving law that takes effect on the 1st of July. The governor signed the bill into law on the 2nd of April after both the state House and Senate passed it overwhelmingly. It bans drivers from using mobile phones or any wireless device while behind the wheel unless it's hands-free or voice-activated mode. The bill, which was 5 years in the making, exempts licensed hams who are using two-way radios. Iowa joins 30 other states, including New York, Arizona, and Minnesota, in granting hams permission to operate their radios while driving. This is Dave Parks, WB8ODF.
Attending the Dayton Hamvention is a yearly pilgrimage for some and a once-in-a-lifetime event for others. For the youth in amateur radio, it's not only priceless, it can be free. Newsline anchor Jim Dameron at 8TMW has the details.
If you're a high school student or even younger, the easiest way to attend Hamvention is to simply show up on Saturday, the 17th of May, at the Greene County Fair and Expo Center. Admission is free that day for youngsters. Young visitors who want an experience that is designed just for them are also able to attend the Youth Rally, a special day-long program designed to offer students a variety of hands-on experiences in amateur radio. It's led by Steve Goodgame, K5ATA, the ARRL's Education and Learning Manager. Students get to take part in a short on-air sprint, contact a Parachute mobile radio operator, and learn about satellite communications. Youngsters are encouraged to bring a 2-meter HT if they have one. Advanced registration is recommended for the Youth Rally and costs $20.
The Radio Society of Great Britain has recognized achievements by 2 key members of the U.S. citizen-based science investigation team, HAMSci.
Congratulations to Nathaniel Frisell, W2NAF, and Gwyn Griffiths, G3ZIL, whose studies of ionospheric propagation with ham radio science citizen investigation, or HAM-SCI, has been honoured by the Radio Society of Great Britain. The Les Barclay Memorial Award has been given to Nathaniel for HAM-SCI's contribution in elevating amateur radio-based citizen science to a higher profile. The award is being given to him by the RSGB Propagation Studies Committee. He is the founder of HAM-SCI. Gwyn, G3ZIL, is the author of a series of articles published in several issues of the RSGB magazine Radcom in 2024. He's been recognised through the Society's Wortley Talbot Trophy, which recognises in particular an article, Height of Reflections at HF, that appeared in the August 2024 magazine issue. He is a long-time member of the HAM-SCI community. This is Jeremy Bucci for NJH.
A reminder, the nominating period for the 2025 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award is now open. Since 1986, we've been honoring the best young people in amateur radio for their efforts in expanding the state-of-the-art of the amateur radio service and using ham radio to make the world a better place. The nominations close on May 31st, and the presentation will take place Saturday, August 16th at the Huntsville Ham Fest in Huntsville, Alabama. You can find more information and the nomination form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news since 1976 at arnewsline.org. With Dave Parks, WB8ODF, Jim Dameron, N8TMW, Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. 7-3, we'll see you next time here on Ham Nation. And a big thanks to the Newsline crew for helping us put all that together. There is no solar update tonight from Dr. Scove. She is actually out enjoying a school play with her daughter, who is on the crew tonight. So she's backstage doing some things, and mom and dad are out in the audience enjoying that. So a great time should be had by all. Of course, you can see her at Contest University. And of course, speaking of the youth, the Scouts Venture Crew 73 will be there right at the front office, the front gate, rather, as you go in. And they'll be selling these really nice lanyards, as well as laminating your
color.
Ticket. And I especially love the red stripe.
Love the red stripe.
Let me get a little closer.
Love it. I love it. Perfect. That's great. Yeah.
I just love it. So support the Scouts at Venture Crew 73, and thanks again for helping to feed my lanyard fetish. Again, I'm not picking up the whole big wad because I would throw my back out. I have so many at this point. Anyway, so there you go. If you want, be sure to follow Dr. T on X at Tamitha Scove, also her YouTube channel, to get the absolute latest when she posts it. There have been some pretty serious solar storms here lately. So sorry we don't have a report for you. But just follow her and you'll absolutely get the latest, Josh.
Yep. All right.
There you go. I guess it's time for Ham It or Can It now.
It kind of is, but we have extra time tonight. So Josh actually has a little something to
you
show
want me to
us.
go first?
Oh.
I can go first.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. The backpack.
So, this is an LC192 Icon backpack. And I get a lot of questions on it, and I thought I would just cover some of the key points that I really like and have helped me out a ton when I'm in the field, and I can show you a little bit about what I keep inside of it, because I think I've done a pretty good job with it. So let me see if I've got my... well, there's Don.
Ah!
Hey, oh my
Get
gosh,
there it is.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh my.
That was
probably
not expected at all. Anyway, so here's my ICOM bag, and on the side, I should mention I keep a PowerFilm Solar Lightsaber Max, and with this I can actually it has an internal battery, so I can charge my radio with the solar panel, assuming, if you're like me in California or like Amanda in Colorado, land of the forever sun almost, and you're good to go. Of course, you expect a 705 here's on the top, sure, and it is. I've added a Tufton little tripod to this, so I can disconnect the radio, and it gives a little angle, which is nice when you're kind of on a table and you want to disconnect it or do some other things.
It's called a what? A Tufton?
Tufton. Tuftalin is the kind of the spelling of it, or how you'd phonetically pronounce it. He makes a number of amateur radio add-ons. So like this cover for this LNR radio, it's got a little magnet cover, which makes it really portable. And he does stuff like this. He's really inventive. But he makes a lot of 3D printed parts and whatnot. So that's on the outside. I have, of course, a little compass. Not a great compass, but one of my favorite things is this thermometer teardrop. And I use this a lot when I'm camping. This tells you what the lowest temperature and the highest temperature is in a given 24-hour period. So if you hold this down.
Nice. That's handy.
And it has like a 4-year-long battery. So it should, let's see, 51. That's the lowest we got to last night. And so I keep that on the side there. Now, the thing I get most comments on in this backpack is, this is a mobile antenna mount. And you're like, how the heck did you mount a mobile antenna mount on the side of the bag? Well, focus is going to be a little weird here, but this is a hard plastic board that's on the side of this. And if you see the bottom here, I've actually used those Allen heads to kind of bite into the plastic, and now I've got a really good antenna mount, which means I can take a PL259 connection, and I can go right into the radio, which routes through the little convenient side Velcro side parts to the backpack, which makes it really, really convenient for just adding an antenna or a piece of coax, and then you're good to go. On the outside, I have a 511 Tactical. This is a padded administrative bag. I think specifically it's a medic bag, and there's Molly on the side. And here is where I keep extra coax connections for USB cables, DC connections for power, all that stuff. And that lives on the side here. Now, on the inside, so the main compartment, which is pretty big, it opens kind of almost like a flap here. I have a couple of things on this Velcro side here, which I should talk about because it's one of my favorite accessories for the 705. You can't see it. It's just out of the camera view, but it's the Bluetooth dongle. So this is the VS3, and this works with your 705, your handheld, so your ID50, not the ID50, the ID52. And you can use this to not only PTT, and you can do hold down PTT or click and you PTT and click off to stop. But it allows you to control the radio through the controls, and you can set that for volume, and you can actually slide up and down the frequency set.
What's your range on that? Like, how far away can you walk?
About 12 feet. About 12 feet. So in the shack is totally fine. And I've done this in camp. I'll set the radio up on a frequency where I'm chatting with people, doing a radio or whatever. I'll clip this on my person with the little headphones that I run, and then I can just talk to people by PTTing as I go through it. So that's worked out really well. I carry a little Anderson splitter, power pole splitter, so that I can charge a battery off the solar and also the 705 at the same time. And then in the main compartment, that's where I keep a number of accessories. So I have a nice Denko battery. I think this is a 6 amp hour. And that usually is what I run this micro PA50 amp on. And this is a RF sensing amp. No frills, super simple. Gets you about 50 watts, assuming that you have a pretty good match to your radio. I don't often need it, but when I do need it, it's great to have. Got an extra bit of coax with a Toroid. That usually works with the amplifier. I almost always carry a Rig Expert antenna analyzer for just adjusting my antenna. A bit of coax, and this is a really nice one that has the Toroids built on it. And I've been running with a spool antenna for a little while. So this is an end-fed that takes you through 10 through 40 meters, and it's got pretty much all the plugs you need, as well as a little carabiner at the top for whatever it is you're going to do. And so I know that I can grab this bag, and if I need to do HF things, and usually there's a J-pole in here or a VHF, UHF antenna as well, I can grab this bag and I've got everything I need, plus the power to keep it going because I've got that solar connection. So that's my LC192 backpack. So hopefully that gives you guys some ideas on something you may want to do in the future with yours. Or if you've been wondering what you should put in your 705 bag, there you go. Yeah.
So the big question, if you're a hiker, how much does this weigh?
Oh, good question. So this is not, I would not call this a hiking backpack. And the reason for that is I don't, so all you who watch me a lot, you know I am a former Boy Scout, and now it's Scouting America. My son's in it. He just turned 11. I don't have my 10 essentials in there. I don't have water. I don't have my first aid kit. I don't have a number of things that I require to have on me if I'm going in the field. This is kind of like my, I don't know what I'm going to be getting into radio situation. So if I'm going somewhere with the camp, the family, we're going to picnic, or I'm doing a camp and I'm just going to do like a trunk camping kind of thing, then I'll just grab that, throw it in my truck, and we're good to go.
So it's kind of like your
gear.
Just in case you get an opportunity kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And as a radio active dad with two 11 and 9-year-olds, I'm constantly doing family things, so I got to figure out how to fit in my amateur radio lifestyle and all that. So that's a great opportunity because I can just turn it on and I'm off and running pretty quick and easy.
Well, it looks pretty cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basic. I've had that since it came out, and I've slowly made changes to it, and I realized that I haven't made changes to that bag in probably 4 months or so, and so I think that's pretty solid because every time I grab it, it's got what I need, nothing of what I don't, and there you go.
So
and, you know,
B5 SAR called it an incidental activation bag, so it's now known as an IAB.
It's oh boy, it's an IAB. There you go.
What were you going to say, Don?
That's great. I was saying that it seems like since the popularity and proliferation of like Parks on the Air and all these things, that the miniaturization and the shrinkage in size and weight of amateur radio components has really taken off to make it so easy just to grab a bag like that and go and get on the air and be able to work the world with hardly anything on you.
Well, you know, that's a really good point. I'll show one more thing, and then I'll let Amanda, because I can't wait for Hammond or Kenneth this episode.
Yeah.
But oh gosh, it's done again. I don't know why it's doing that, but the overhead camera should kick in any second. And there it is. Look at that.
That's so
wow.
funny.
So this radio, I built this. So this is a QRP Labs QMX transmitter. And it runs off of 9 volt, although you can modify it to do 12. But what's really interesting about this, I'm holding this in my hand. It does single sideband now. And believe it or not, I either made a single sideband contact with this to Eastern Russia or Portugal last night on 20 meters. So
wow.
You know, the time is right. I know that, you know, everybody's like, well, of course you did, Josh. We're at the high solar cycle. Yes, exactly, which is why you can kind of spec down a little bit. Go with the QRP radio, run, an okay-ish antenna, and you'd be surprised what you can get. Sure, I think I called 5 times, and after the 5th time, I got it. So it's like, you know, shoot, you can keep that with you with nothing.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
So that in your pocket.
That's right. That's right.
That's wild.
And I've seen more and more of those
cool.
online on social media all the time. So people are really getting into those little handheld rigs.
Yeah.
So
go build a kit,
very cool.
everybody. Go build a kit radio. You won't be sad you did it. I can guarantee that. Maybe not all of you, but
I have so many comments. Never mind.
yeah, I realized that as that came out of my mouth, I'm like, I know there's a ton of people who just want nothing to do with kits whatsoever.
And then plus, of course, he's going to show the ham radio bag, and up pops my face. So I'm still trying to work through that.
Yeah, don't know how that's happening. There's
well,
yet
he would have been in a lot of trouble if it would have been my face.
There's exactly.
Oh my gosh! Well, thank you for sharing that, Josh. We appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me share that. I had fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if everyone's ready for Ham or Can It, I'm going to share my screen. No, I'm not going to share a file.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't figured out how to share files over the YouTubes yet, but
yeah,
we're just gonna share that screenshot. Okay, hold on. Let's get you.
Speaking a little
there you are.
This guy is so fun to follow on Twitter, by the way, X, Nick, and he posts a lot of different things. But anyhow, he's really excited about his new Nano VNA. So I am not very familiar with these, so I kind of went and checked them out today. Evidently, they're very affordable, like $85, $50 to $85, depending on what you're using them for. Josh, do you use a Nano VNA?
I think I have like 2 or 3 of them. So if you get right down to it, that antenna analyzer I showed, that antenna analyzer is basically a VNA. It's just a VNA that does only S1 testing. It doesn't do through testing. So a nano VNA gives you more abilities than your average antenna analyzer. They're fantastic tools. Every ham should have one.
It seems like it. It seems like it is the new must-have in your shacks. So I'm gonna look into what it takes to get one.
Don's got one right there. Look at that. Oh, he's got the bigger screen one. That's the one to get right there.
Yeah, because I'm swanky like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one. Why did I? Oh, I don't know what this is. It just says QRP, ham radio, and antenna. I have no idea what this is for, but it sure as heck is small. And I don't even know if this person built it themselves, but I was like, wow, that's amazing. So
it almost kind of looks like one of the old Miracle Whips or something, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I'm wondering what radio you would even put it on.
So there's a coil in there, and then you've got some kind of a rotary. I don't know if that's a rotary encoder. Oh, no. You can see it in there.
You want me to...
Yeah, look at that.
Big in it.
Very tiny little capacitor setup. It looks like somebody will correct me.
So you can actually looks like a matching antenna.
A capacitanna is what Brett says.
Look at that tiny guy.
That's neat. That's
what
neat.
What radio would you use this on? Your HT or
QRP.
your 705?
QRP radio,
yeah.
So
QRP
your little
HF, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's
the
what
miniaturization of ham radio continues. That's so cool.
UK BOTA. Everyone remember BOTA? Bunkers on the air?
Yes.
Evidently, they have a whole thing just for the UK BOTAs, and I'm seeing a lot more. This is getting very popular in Europe about these bunkers on the air. So throughout May, they're having this whole kind of like when we had POTA weekend and stuff, they're doing a whole month in the UK. So listen out for them. And most of them will probably be QRP and such, but give them those contacts if you hear BOTA, work them.
Yeah, try different bands than you're used to, right, to get those transcontinental contacts.
Right.
Why don't you tell Amanda, what would they do? Like if it's 20 meters when it's open in the UK would be like what time for us?
Oh, great question. So if it's open there at 2:00 in the afternoon, it's going to be about, depending on where you are in the United States, it's going to be about 8 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear UK most often right around 10 a.m. my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, when the openings are there, I mean, it's great. So 20 definitely, but I bet a lot are also on 15. 10 when it's open, I've talked to a lot first thing in the morning, 7, 8 a.m. on 10 meters.
There you go.
Over the pond. Okay. This, I just, I like this because it looked like a clean install, but I really only wanted to attack the radio in this. This is so rude. This is hideously big. I'm sorry, but you're going for your other microphone and you would constantly knock your VFO.
Oh, I see what
while
you're
you're
saying.
driving. It's huge. And you would constantly knock yourself off of the frequency you're just talking on, depending on this. I have no idea what this little install is, but he called it a Lido mount.
Lido.
Anyone familiar with Lido?
Very much so.
Okay.
I have that exact bar in my truck. It's fantastic.
So that looks fantastic. It looks like it moves out of the way and tilts and things like that.
It's a cam lock. You can slide it. It's very easy to use. Yeah, they're fantastic.
I think they make a gooseneck mount that I used to have that actually attaches to one of the front bolts on your seat. I had the head of my 706 on there.
I would like to see how this one is installed. His water cup there is blocking where it's actually installed or hooked to.
I bet it goes down to one of the mounting bolts on the seat.
That's what it looks like. That's how I have mine.
Yeah.
I'll send you pictures of my truck setup when we're done here.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
And I like that he's only lacking Alaska, Hawaii, and Iowa.
And he's like chilling on 12 meters too in his car, which I find crazy because that is a very special antenna, I would think. Even
he might be using the screwdriver from
the
Yasu.
screwdriver is probably what he's using. So I would like to see more about his setup. Anyhow, okay, this person right here, I have to take to school. Local ham radio operator kept saying break during the storm net. We call him Tornado Tim, and he's a good example of what puts people off about ham radio. Okay, Colts Walker, let me give you a few lessons. First of all, using the term break is used all the time in public safety and is 100% acceptable. It is not acceptable in the way that Tornado Tim is using it, but it is totally okay. And let me give everybody an example. So whenever cops are calling something in to dispatch and dispatch is giving them a very long transmission of information, it could say suspect was known to be wearing white shirt, blue jeans, black cap, break. The break means pause, just in case somebody needs to jump in for emergency traffic quickly. So they just say break. I'm pausing. I'm opening it back up. Okay, so break is totally an okay term. I do not like to use it in saying break, break, mayday, mayday, break, break, interrupt. I don't use it in that way, but what is everyone else's thoughts on the term break?
It depends on how it's being used.
This came up on a podcast that I did with my wife last week, and I think it was
that
using
is
the term
funny.
break, and somebody was getting lambasted for it in the YouTube on this YouTube group. And I was saying that, let's say it's a rag chew or a repeater or 2-meter simplex. It doesn't matter. Like, it totally doesn't matter. It's simply that person is using something, a word, a part of vernacular that's not like commonplace, and so people like different. They find it different, and they're like, "Ew, that's icky." It's more of an icky thing than it's like, does it matter at all? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
I'm with you, and I think that they were relating it to breaker, good buddy. So they're saying, "Oh, that's too much of a CB term."
Right? Exactly.
Absolutely, 100% is not.
Sure. Well, but even if that's true, so yeah, CBers use it too. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
I feel
Lighten up,
they're
Francis.
not playing on their radio enough if they can worry about such trivial things like somebody using break. Go play with your radio more and don't worry about that kind of nonsense.
Exactly.
Well, I listen to public safety so much, and I'm on it quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but a bit. And when you have an emergency, you just start talking. And what I've noticed in amateur radio, if somebody needs to interrupt, like let's say during a public service event, a parade, a 5K, they just jump in and say contact, and then go ahead. So
Ted nailed it. If you're long-winded on a repeater, you absolutely say break to let the repeater reset. You say break.
Exactly.
So in that case, totally fine. Nobody has a problem with that. So
I do it on my nets when I give traffic
Absolutely.
on like my Aries net or my state section net, all those things. I just say break. Everyone knows I need to let everything reset.
Right.
And I'm coming back for more. So don't interrupt. Don't talk.
Don't step on Amanda.
Do not step on me. Do not double. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is so I want to know more information about this, but this person is receiving information on their pager about satellites. Look at this. He got a page about SO50, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that the coolest thing? It's so old technology. Katie and Jack, do you even know what pagers are? I'm kidding. I know you know. But I just thought this was really neat that he has a pager set up to receive information about things that are on the air.
This pager is totally foreign to me. I don't know.
I've
never seen
not
that
recognized.
before.
Well, he is DF2ET, so German technology. So
Yeah.
maybe have a different setup, but most paging technology now was on 900 megahertz, that kind of thing.
So my ham pager uses DAPnet. So I do have a ham pager. Hold on. Watch out for Dawn. Hold on. I'm gonna. There we go. There it is. So there's my ham pager. And yes, I use the German system to pass traffic, and I was using it for weather reports. But now I'm really interested in using it for lower satellite. So I'm going to figure out how to get this thing rerunning again and try that. But mine's the just boring traditional style. I want this cool funky one like Amanda's got. That's amazing.
Yes, isn't it cool?
Yeah, it's very cool.
I'm guessing looking at some of these buttons, it had like auto response. You could choose one to respond back to your page back in the day. Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
really neat. It's pretty cool. And I love that screen too. It's way better than any pager screen I ever had.
Yep. I was a pager kid.
God, yeah.
You can
Yeah,
literally
me too.
put an antenna anywhere, you guys, I swear. This is so cool. He put his mag mount antenna outside of his I just blinked. His shelter door, his tornado shelter door.
That's smart.
The coolest. I would have never thought about that. And when I see a door in the ground like this, I get total prepper stance. I'm like, okay, so this is going to be hidden when it's end of days and they're hiding underground and they're like trying to weather out whatever apocalypse we're having. I probably wouldn't put an antenna right there on the door, but I thought this was pretty cool and
my luck,
very brilliant.
With my luck, Mr. Bean would park on top of it.
Yeah, or the house would fall on top of it in the tornado, or the tornado would blow it off, blow the antenna off. Yeah, we used to call those Frady holes in Oklahoma. That's the Frady hole.
And I was thinking that you, Don, are the most knowledgeable about tornado shelters and stuff. Is this a thing? Do you just walk around in Oklahoma and you see like shelter doors all around and?
Oh yeah, our back patio in the house that we had like a little elevated slab of a patio, and the door was at an angle, and it was a metal door like that, and you open it up. My dad built it. My dad was a home builder, so he actually built the storm shelter as well, and it's all reinforced concrete. You walk down the concrete stairs into the concrete square hole in the ground, and there were like a couple little vents on top so you could get some light in. And there was, we had a very low profile glass window at ground level that had chicken wire molded into it. So, if anything tried to blow into it, it's a thing. And this was back in the 60s. So, they've gotten much better now where they're prefab, metal all welded together. And all you do is you dig a hole and you drop them in. And a lot of people actually in Oklahoma, they have these things, in their garage, so that the right even with the slab, so you can just drive your car right over it. So
sense, because obviously taking a radio down into the shelter, you're not gonna, it's like a Faraday cage, so
you're not gonna get out. Exactly. Right.
Totally.
That's cool.
Yes, it will antenna. Okay. Speaking of antennas, this one is like, what in the hell? Why do you need this for 2 meters? Like
horizontally polarized loop?
It's a halo. Yeah, it's a halo.
Yeah.
No, that's vertical. That's vertically polarized. Sorry.
No, it's you could do 2 meter sideband on that. That's also pretty good for satellites because it's horizontal, so it's going to aim up.
I think that's vertical. I could be wrong.
Is it? Is that vertical? Oh, it could be.
It doesn't say one way or the other. So it just says the beta version of this. And
because I know a buddy of mine had a 6 meter halo on his camper top, his fiberglass camper top on his truck, and he used to run 6 meter sideband on that while it was mobile. So
if I had to guess, this is European, only because it came from Blue Sky, and a lot of ham radio stuff there is from like the UK.
Well, they also said RSGB.
Oh yes, that too. So, and I think the steering wheel is on the other side, unless but you can never tell in selfies anymore because a lot of people get mirrored. So,
yep.
I was wondering if it was something British. Those weird British people doing their weird things again. I don't know. I kid our UK friends. Okay, this one is just strange. So, wearable antennas using this this sewing thread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gotta talk about that.
Ham?
I gotta talk about that.
No,
I gotta talk about that.
Go.
3 years ago, when I was doing the Willet antenna videos, like hardcore, I picked up a spool of this stuff and I tried to make a dipole out of it in the backyard just to see if I could get it to resonate. Couldn't get it below like 3 to 1. So I'm gonna do it again now that we're at the low solar cycle. I have a video that goes along with it that literally I've been thinking, it's been in my dome for 3 years. I have the thread, I have everything. the thread is too small. But you can use like that EMP cloth to make like a corrugated zigzag dipole and put it into clothing. That would work, no problem.
With no concern of like RF anything to your brain.
I would only use 500 watts.
Wear...
I'd only put 500 watts through it, Amanda. No, QRP.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to throw
QRP.
a full gallon at that.
No. QRP at best. At best.
Yeah. And this is our friend Ben. He's been on the show before, AI6YR. He is notable for geolocating photos and found like a hiker that way. Anyhow, thank you, Ben, for sharing.
Ben, build it and we'll put it on.
Yes, Ben.
We'll do a fashion show. I'll do it. You do it. We'll do a fashion show, bud. Let's do it.
That'd be
I love that.
Ham radio fashion.
I think I'm with you on that. I think it needs to be thicker because I don't see how this withstands anything.
There's just not enough
even
material.
A small tug.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's not the tug. It's just there's not enough material in there to let all the angry RF out of it. So you need something a little bit more substantial.
Plus, this probably comes from China, so you're going to pay more than you would have a month ago. Okay. Enough said. There is absolutely 100% like nothing wrong with this setup. I love this box. I love his furries, whatever he has intended for them. My question here is, why are there a bunch of rocks in like a dog kennel?
No, that's a trap. Those are wild caught rocks. They caught those rocks in that's a raccoon trap that they caught them rocks.
Those are free range rocks.
That's right. Yeah. Those are coming soon to your local pet rock shop, Amanda. That's where you're going to get your pet rock.
Right. See, back in the 70s when they had the whole it's the butterfly effect.
Yeah, that's right.
The direct
it's
effect
back again.
Of the
it's
pet rocks.
Cool again, Don.
The pet rocks back in the 70s, they interbred, and that is what happens.
Yep, because we used to have pet rocks in captivity. They were domesticated rocks, but now we've lost that. Now. So we have to go get feral rocks.
Yes. They've gone out and they've intermingled and mated and just
I literally just cannot understand why it's there. Like it does nothing for anything, and they're zip tied together too. Like they were going to go somewhere.
It's windy.
It's a barrier. Chris Bricker said that they use them as barriers.
From what?
The wind.
Yeah.
Plant a tree.
Other feral rocks rolling down the hill.
Bigger rocks.
Yes. Jesus, Amanda, don't you know anything?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get with it here. This is why I didn't know. So. I don't even know what's going on. Okay.
Neither do I. I've made that abundantly clear over the years.
Are there any documentaries about ham radio? I don't know.
Never heard of it.
Yes.
Never heard of a one.
The only thing I thought of is
Bill Pasternak did a bunch of the old ARRL films back in the day. Yeah, absolutely. There's a ton of old documentaries about ham radio.
I was thinking of the one with Walter Cronkite.
Yeah, that was one that Bill did. He directed
was that. It? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm pulling it up.
Google is your friend, Joey.
Hold on. I've actually got it. There is one. So let me pull it up here. So this is it was called The Official Documentary. And by the way, it's very good. So this is it. Where is it? Ham Radio Documentary. So it's
just look up
Ham
ARRL
Official
Films
Documentary
and
2002.
Too, yeah.
It was a Montana College of the Arts Media. So let me pause it there, and I'll grab the link and I'll drop it in the chat. But yes, that's it's a good one too. It's real good.
ARRL Films will get you some old, really cool ones too.
Well, I just didn't have anything really off the top of my head except for I had seen the Walter Cronkite one. In fact,
that was one of the later ones that Bill did, but the ones that were back in the 70s were very
I had
cool.
forgotten that Bill was so involved in that stuff because he was brilliant at that kind of thing.
Yes, he was.
All right, this is my last one, and this one just makes me angry. And I just...
You have issues tonight, Amanda.
Oh, Matt,
he made it.
He's made it. Oh, I know
I do not like this comment. It's rude. It's really putting down our Gen Zers, and I just not happy with it.
Yeah, and so
it's one person's
opinion.
anyone that's just listening and you're not watching and you can't see this comment, says it's okay to admit it. The first step to change is recognizing, admitting the problem. Ham radio is doomed over the coming decades. It will shrink in membership and see continued pressure from commercial interests and be perceived as less useful than ever before. BS, Matt. Okay. I have lots of things to back this up. I have lots of statistics. First of all, if you look back to COVID in 2020, we have one example right here on the show. Jack got licensed then. Many people got licensed then.
That's right.
Many youth are getting involved. The ARRL has a huge initiative with all of their teacher institutes to get more youth involved, teach the teachers to teach. And we have two great examples here. We have Katie and Jack, who can attest to the fact that amateur radio is not dead and that it's only going to serve more purposes, whether it be just talking on the air or experimental. So, Matt, you're wrong, and you're wrong. And I think a lot of people probably told you that on X this last week.
They did.
Yep. Yeah, they did.
They did. I
Well,
think
you know
that
what?
ratioed.
It's one person's opinion. He's as entitled to his as anyone is.
100%.
Rock on, Matt.
But-
You do you, boo boo. But you're wrong.
There you go. That's right. You can do it. You can say whatever you want on X.
Right.
But
I just don't
you're also
agree with
wrong.
But we disagree. And
Exactly.
I have one other thing, just like, you know that there's the memes of how it started, how it's going, right? It's anything from a cute kid that started at 16 at McDonald's and is now a franchise owner. We have that in amateur radio. We have how it started and how it's going. Look at this group right here of how it's going. But guess what? We have something even better, and it's where it's going. And we're taking it much further, and we will. For the next 100 years, we are going to further this hobby. So people like that make us take a little itty bitty half a step back, but the rest of us are pushing forward.
Bingo.
So
I say it
there you
every
go.
year in Huntsville on stage is that you take a look at this young person that's on stage that is receiving this honor, and this is the future of ham radio. This is the type of people that this hobby and this world will be in the hands of in the future, in the not so distant future, as a matter of fact. And if these are the kind of people who are going to be running the world, we're all going to be just good apples and ignore the bad ones.
We're just fine. Yes. So
Exactly. We're going to be fine.
That's right.
Katie and Jack are going to be running the world, and we're all going to be just fine.
Oh,
absolutely. Well, that was my ham it or can it for tonight.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A little angry, but I mean, hey, it's okay.
Well,
You
2
might
weeks
wanna-
ago,
I don't know what's in that.
I got crap from you for
I don't know
saying,
what's-
well, she's too nice. She's so nice. And
You
I'm like,
did,
okay.
yeah, that's right,
I'm
Don.
gonna
You
get a
did
little
tell her, like,
pretty.
oh, you haven't
Okay.
been doing much
Yeah,
can it these days. That was a can it.
Okay.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Well,
Can
all
it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
I
was
retract
funny.
my statement. I was going to say you might want to switch to a decaf in that cup. But no, go ahead. You pour the death wish in there, baby girl. You just have at it. You might want to start drinking again. That's all I. Well, no, maybe not. I'll take care of that for you.
Okay, you
Yeah,
do. You
he's
handle
got
that
your
part
share.
for me, and
I'll do that. Yeah. I'll get
well,
good and lit in
there
2
you
weeks, so
have it.
we'll
Thank
do
you
it all
all
again.
for so well
Those were
canned. I love those.
fantastic. Well
Thank you. I
done,
appreciate
Amanda,
that.
as always.
Very good.
And I'll tell you my thoughts on the after where the live stream's done. Stick around. I'll talk for you a little bit.
Sounds good.
Just because that guy's wrong doesn't mean I don't want him in my log. Whatever
That's
his call
right.
sign was.
Sure.
I don't remember now. I'll talk at you.
Okay, well, you guys, I'm going to talk about what we're going to talk about in 2 weeks. We're going to have the deep space exploration team on.
Ooh, very cool.
I know. I'm
We're
so
gonna talk
excited.
to aliens. Is it finally time, Amanda? No, I'm kidding. Of course, everybody. I'm kidding.
I can't tell you that, but they were just on QST for something amazing about their whole group. But they just did something more amazing. They did it not just an EME. They did EVE.
Venus.
Earth, Venus.
Earth, Venus?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So they're going to be on here to talk about that.
That's
and
the
I'm
long
so
way
excited.
around.
I'm telling you. So
Wow.
everyone stay tuned for, I know what date that is.
2 weeks.
May 7th. Yes. May 7th. We're going to have some of the team on from there. And their place is out in Colorado. And it's in this it's like the southeast corner of Colorado that nobody's ever been to or heard of. yeah. Anyhow, it's a very quiet place and it's perfect for that. But all of the people are out of like Denver and Springs and stuff like that. So anyhow, okay, we're gonna wrap it up here because I took way longer than I expected, and
You did great.
we're gonna.
It was awesome.
Thank you. Don't
Great
forget
show.
D-Star is taking place on 14. Charlie and Kev should be around 7192. And I just want to thank Katie and Jack again for joining us tonight. We appreciate everything you did and do.
Absolutely.
And you are
Will
the
do.
future. So you just proved that guy wrong about where ham radio is going. I'll tell you that much. So thank you, everyone.
Yours, W.O., whatever you were.
Whatever.
Yeah.
How about them Nets?
I just said them.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry. I had the thing up. I was clicking the delete.
He's not paying attention. What are you
I
even
know
do
it.
here?
Sorry.
All right. Thank you, viewers.
On the back end.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
There you go.
That's
And
it.
That's it.
Yeah, hit arnewsline.org and register your Young Ham for the Young Ham of the Year award.
I will be live at the Ham Escape this weekend
That's
in
right.
Big Bear. So if you guys don't have anything to do around 9 a.m. on Saturday, I'll be live from there. I'll be hanging out with a buddy of mine, Mark Soda Plus, who's out here on YouTube. Great guy. I'm bunking with him, so I may do a live stream on Friday night, just talking radio stuff. Probably Summit's on the air, so if you want to join us, come on out for that. So yeah, that's all I got too. Great job, everybody.
And that's where Gordo is right now too. So
He is. He's working his tail off. That's why he's not here today. So if you, give him some emails, or if you see him at the show, say thank you, Gordo, for all the help you've done, and all those guys and gals out there at the Ham Escape getting things going for this weekend. It's a big deal because just driving all that gear up to Big Bear, California is a pretty big deal. From sea level to 8,600 feet is no joke. So,
wow.
Wusses.
Well, we start out at 0, Amanda, and we got to go all the way up to 8,600 feet. And then we got summits at 12. I know it's not what you got, but, we got to go a little further.
People in New Orleans are below sea level, for crying out loud. I think I'm at 52 feet right here.
Yeah.
5,300 all the time here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you again in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. See you.
Good night, everyone.
7-3, everyone.
Appreciate it.